Hey guys, welcome back for another exciting new machine day here at the new shop. So I'm expecting the delivery of our new Hydmech DM-1215 bandsaw today. And they should be here probably within the next 15-20 minutes, I think. And hopefully it's gonna be a nice, easy unload. It's gonna be on a box truck with liftgate delivery available on it. So we should be able to get the truck backed right here in the door and hopefully just be able to quickly and simply and easily just drop ship it right here in the shop. So pretty excited about this. This has been going on a couple months now that I've been waiting on the saw to arrive. Hydmech's been pretty backlogged, just like, seems like every manufacturer out there now, you know, just has they had a lot of setbacks over the last couple of years and delays. And but fortunately we were able to secure this bandsaw, and I'm really excited to add it to the shop here. A lot of you guys might remember it was a little over a year ago, about a year and a half now, we added the Hydmech DM-10 to the the other shop down there at the house, and I was just extremely happy with the Hydmech saw and the build quality and the cut quality that I got out of it. It's a nice, smooth operating saw. So I wanted to add another one of those to the new shop here, but we went up one size, so we went to the 1215, which means it's going to be able to handle 12-inch rounds and I believe 15-inch square pieces. So should be here pretty soon. Really excited. We'll have the camera here to get the unload, and of course we'll get it all uncovered, get it uncrated, and set it up. It's going to be going. My plan is to put it right here in this general area. We don't know exactly where it's going to be sitting, but it should be right about here. That's what the conduit right here is for, so they can pull the wire to hook it up. So I'll be on the lookout for the truck. Should be here pretty soon, and we'll get this new Hydmech saw in the shop. All right, so there's our truck driver, Big Time Transport Services out of Cleveland, Ohio. All right, well, that worked out. We got the truck all the way in the shop here. Oh yeah, there it is.
There it is. Your baby.
Exciting day. We love new machine days.
Yes.
All right, so we can't get the crate out because of these guys right here. The crate's a little too wide, so I just called Joe. He's gonna come around with his forklift and unload it for us. Did not expect that with the lift gate there, but should be a problem. We'll grab it with the forklift to bring it right on in here. Joe made it back to give me a hand.
Yes, sir.
I think it's around 1,500 pounds or so. Okay, the Hydmech is safely in the shop now. Big thanks to Joe for always coming over here and giving me a hand unloading these machines when I need. I sure wish I had a nice forklift around here, but we just don't have one, haven't secured one. But just thankfully, you know, having a friend like Joe that doesn't mind helping out. By the way, you might remember in the last video of him unloading, I told him that I owed him a steak dinner, and I kept promising I was bringing him a steak dinner, and I did. I followed up on that promise. And yesterday I went to my local butcher called the Butcher Shop, and I got him and his family a pack of prime grade ribeye steaks, and I got him a slab of the prime beef short ribs to put on a smoker as well. So a little way of repaying all the work that he's always helped me with the machine unloading. So I know he's gonna go home today. He said he's gonna enjoy him a steak dinner tonight with the family. So next step from here is go ahead and get uncrated. And I think for this this wood here, this is the thinner wood. I'm probably gonna get the recip saw out and just go ahead and cut those things, and we'll throw them in the truck. And I think I'm gonna just use this in our little fire pit out back, and just we'll just burn that instead of trying to reclaim it and use it for anything. But we'll get it unloaded and get it set in place and get it ready for the electrician. He's supposed to be hopefully coming by this week, and we're gonna end up having 3 machines for the electrician to wire up. So the first one's gonna be the Hydmech saw. He's still gotta come and hook up the KBC milling machine right there. And then we have another machine that's supposed to be here this week as well, but that'll be a separate video on that whenever it gets here. So let's get started on this guy right here. I did want to mention how nice the crate job was done on the saw. This really does its job on helping to keep everything contained and to help keep other items in the truck from being pushed up against it here. So the separate boxes here, this guy and these here, this should be the in-feed roller table that's gonna mount to the saw, which we're gonna, once we assemble it, it's gonna be mounted on the other side of the saw so that it'll support the material that whenever we set it in there. But I just wanted to point out that's what those were. And I liked how they put the big labels on each piece in there, just in case the crate got damaged and pieces got separated, that they would know who these boxes actually belong to. All right, let's get the plastic cut off there now and get a better look at this guy. That is a good looking saw right there. I think we'll have to move the head around to get that board out there. Let's take a good look at it up close. Since we got it all unwrapped there, sure is a good looking machine. This one has got some additional features on it that the DM-10 did not come equipped with. So there was a couple of the testing certificates hanging on it. All right, this is the same style of saw as the DM-10 like I already got. So you have a double miter, so you can miter to either side there, and the vise is able to slide to either side, so you can position it where you want. And this one, I believe, comes equipped with a work light and a laser light as well, that I believe is supposed to line up exactly with that blade, so you can line up work pieces in there where you want to cut it. That's going to be a nice feature to have right there. It is a variable speed motor here, so we can adjust our surface feet right on the fly. Coolant on or auto, so you can use your laser or lamp. Got that switch there, and then your head feed right there. That's about all there is to it. And it looks like we got a digital display on our blade tension, which is pretty cool. The DM-10 actually has a hydraulic gauge mounted out here that shows the tension of the blade. All right, nice big coolant pan. This is a really cool feature. So you've got a nozzle here, spray nozzle, so you can use the coolant to wash the machine down, get all the chips washed off out of the way. That is really nice. This is used to adjust the tension of the, or I'm sorry, the weight of the head there. depending on what mode. If you're going to use like a manual mode, you can make it so that it's really light and just kind of hold the head down there. If you got maybe some real thin pieces that you got to cut and you want to have manual control over it. There's our coolant pump there, so you got a built-in sump down here in the base. This is where our in-feed table is going to mount right here. And you have one roller that guides it into the vise there. Everything's coated down with some rust inhibitor there to keep it from rusting during transport. There's our machinery tag right there. This one is wired up for 243 phase, by the way. I think that's about it. Okay, we got this right here. All right, so that's going to be our manuals, and then that's going to be your stop system right there that you can bolt in right there, so you can have a workpiece stop if you want. We'll pull all that stuff out there in a bit. I'm going to figure out how to get it picked up, since it's actually laying completely flat on the skid there. And I believe the way this one is designed is that you can get in here with either a forklift or a pallet jack and be able to pick it up very easily and move it around. It feels like the bottom of it is a solid piece of plate there. But I'm going to see if I can safely strap underneath. This is all cast right here, and it goes underneath, so I'm going to see if I can maybe rig a couple of my lifting straps underneath the base of the vise to be able to support it, and then pick it up with the jib crane right here in this area, since this isn't going to be really that heavy. It's bolted to the bottom of this casted base right there. I've got the Hydmech saw strapped up and ready to lift. I think we've got it safely strapped, and I'll give you a close-up to show you what that looks like. We've got her rigged up to the Gorbel 2-ton jib crane. We'll use that to lift it off of the skid and just basically just set it off here in the floor, and then we'll be able to use the pallet jack to actually move it around, make it really nice and easy. But I'll bring you in here and show you how I've got it strapped up. As I was mentioning before, I was gonna plan on going underneath this casting here, which is the base of the vise and the head. We've got two straps going underneath there, and we've got it in a cradle position. It's not pinching on anything. You see it's not pinched on this vise, either of these handles. The most important thing is that we're not pinched on the head in any way. It's completely clear of the head. Not binding up, not pinching it, not moving it. You can see our straps are coming underneath here. And because they weren't quite long enough, I just used a third strap here to hold them all together, and we've got it safely hooked. And I have lifted it up an inch or so. We made sure that we were balanced, and I should be able to pick this up and just move it off out of the way. I will point out, there's one thing I had to move. The bracket right here that holds the LED light and the laser light, it was right here, and it was right in line of where the strap wanted to be. So I just simply removed the two bolts right here. Just took those two guys out, and that's just laying right there. It's not in a bind or anything. It's not pulling on the cord. It's just laying there, so that'll be safe. So I think we are ready to make our lift now. Should be good to go. Fairly simple. We'll go ahead and get started on it. Using the slow speed on the hoist. Just enough to get it off the crate. Go ahead and lower it down. Nothing to it. I love having my Gorbel jib crane. Absolutely love it. Okay. Uneventful other than a safe lift and lower. So from here we should be able to very easily just move this guy around using our pallet jack. Yep, pallet jack goes all the way in there. So really nice design from Hydmech, designing this so that people can very easily just pick this up with a forklift or a pallet jack to move it. Nice and easy. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll pull it over here and set it about in the place where it's going to be. We're going to put it just somewhere in this general area. We'll probably have to, I don't know, adjust it to the left or right a little bit if we need to. I'm going to try to keep it as close to the wall as I can to maximize my door space, you know, being able to come in here with back in the truck or anything. But this is where I planned on putting a bandsaw whenever I got one. This was the best place for one. Materials can come in. We might possibly have some kind of rack back here on the wall at some point where we can, whatever materials we have a shelf or some kind of rack there, and then have the, you know, the cutoff side obviously over here. And if we have long pieces that we're going to be cutting, I can open the door and this will clear just to the edge of the door right here, so we can, you know, if we need to cut long pieces. I've got plans for the area behind you where we've been loading the, you know, moving the saw over here. This whole area is continuing to stay open for other machines that may be coming in here later on in the year. So this is why I wanted the bandsaw to be this area right over here. So this is going to be the general area, but I do think I'm going to end up pulling it this way just a little bit, probably at least another foot, maybe 1.5 feet or so. We're going to come this way, kind of get a little bit closer to the door here. And then we have our infeed rack right here that we got to get it all this put together. It's going to be mounted to the back. That's going to stick out another 4 to 5 foot over there. So I think we need to kind of pull it this way to utilize a little bit more of this corner. And I think what we're going to end up doing is having maybe some kind of storage rack, maybe a shelf or something over on one side, maybe even a vertical storage rack over here that we can fab. That way, if we have some longer pieces we need to store, maybe we can just stand them up here. Because I had thought about maybe fabricating some kind of rack that sits on the floor but comes up and that's anchored into the wall to support the top. And you know, just have something where we have some longer pieces that we need to store out of the way off the floor, have something up here for that. But that's just some ideas. Maybe a vertical rack would be a little bit better for this. But I'm also going to have the electrician we're probably going to wire this up with a plug and receptacle, 3-phase, so that in the event that I really do need to kind of move this saw out of the way, say maybe a future delivery, we need to get a trailer in here or something, I can just grab it with the pallet jack, move it off to that side of the shop where I've got more room over there, get it out of the way, and then just be able to simply bring it right back where it needs to go and then plug it in. So that's probably what I'll have them do for this. We still got a lot to do. I need to get the thing cleaned up. We got all our rust inhibitors on it, so it needs to be cleaned up really well. I need to go through the owner's manual and really kind of go over that once and make sure that I understand all of the functions and components of the saw and make sure that we're going to be operating it correctly. And you know, all the things that you just need to know whenever you're going to be running a new machine. The other thing I was going to mention is that it might on camera look like that this is kind of a dark spot, and it really is. This whole little front section right through here, this side and that side, I don't have a light directly above it, so I believe I'm going to have the electricians hang me a few more lights in here. I had a couple hung down there, so we have more light down in that area, back there in the pacemaker area, and I think I want some more light up here in this general area too to kind of brighten this up. So that'll be something that we get them to do in the future as well. So still a lot to do with the Hydmech, but I'm super excited that it's finally here in the shop, and I want to get this thing finished, get it all hooked up so that we can finally have a functioning bandsaw in here in the shop. So still a lot to do, and I'll definitely bring you guys back once we make some more progress on there, getting it set up, clean. We're going to have to machine 4 pads for the leveling screws right there so we can set it on that, level it out the way it needs to be. There's still a lot of little things to go over, and we'll bring you guys back whenever we get back on it and finish everything out, okay?